Hi, this is Randy with Sophos Tutor, and I just want to say a quick thank you for clicking on this video. Also, if you haven't already, please click subscribe to Sophos Tutor, as it really helps out with the channel. Thanks. All right, welcome to my workshop series called Finding Your Way When You Don't Know What You're Doing. This series was targeting high school students for their career day, so helping students learn how to find a job out in the real world. But hopefully, the way that I've written this workshop, regardless of your age, you should get something out of it, whether you're in high school or college, or you just graduated, or you're 10 years in your career, and you are looking for a change. Now in this video, I'm simply just going to do an introduction and discuss why I am doing this series and why I feel like it's so important to put up on YouTube for the world to see. So first off, let me introduce to you just who I am and my background. My name is Randy Bautista. I graduated from a high school named St. Joseph Notre Dame in Alameda, California. I graduated in the year 2000. I had the honor of being my class's valedictorian. I'd later go on to UCLA and graduate in the year 2005 with a Bachelor's of Science in Computer Science and Engineering and a minor in Asian American Studies. I am now self-employed as a private tutor. I specialize in SAT and ACT test prep, as well as all levels of high school math from pre-algebra all the way to Calculus BC, as well as the International Baccalaureate series. I also tutor science. My specialties are in physics and in chemistry. And I also am a streamer on YouTube. My channel is Sophos Tutor, and hopefully that is how you have found me. So hopefully you get to browse around and see some of my other educational videos. So why this workshop? I felt like I needed to go back in time and think about when I was 17. Just trying to remember like how I thought the world worked and what I wish I would have known back 22 years ago. I remember in high school, I remember feeling a lot of pressure. I felt pressure to know what kind of career I wanted. My parents immigrated from the Philippines in 1970, and they studied accounting in college, which happened to be what their careers were for their entire adult working lives. So seeing that my parents studied what they did as a career and then later did that career for their entire adult lives, I thought I was going to follow the same path. So I felt pressure to know what I wanted to be and what I would be for the rest of my life. I also felt pressure, therefore, to have a plan, that I needed to know how to start as a high school student and get to the point where I was 40 with a career and a wife and 2.3 children and a dog and a house with a white picket fence and all the things that are promised in the American dream. I also felt pressure to commit. You wrote down a plan, you followed the plan, you put your nose down to the grindstone, and then you just worked for 20 years, and suddenly everything was supposed to work out, and you were supposed to be happy. But something didn't seem right about that idea. How could I know what I wanted or have a plan or be committed to that plan if, number one, I didn't know what opportunities were available? Yeah, sure, I knew some jobs that were available based off of things that I saw from TV shows and movies. Like, I know you can be a police officer or a doctor or a lawyer. There's some family members who were engineers, but I kind of didn't know what it meant to be an engineer. I felt very far removed from the working world, and I also learned that America was this place of opportunity. So, how could the opportunities be limited to the 7 or 8 jobs that I knew in my head? There had to be more. Secondly, I didn't know what skills I would develop. Now, I knew I had some skills when I was in high school. I was a good student. I was good at math. I also was into theater, and I knew I loved performing. But I didn't know if I was going to use those skills in my career, nor did I know what skills I would develop in college. So if I didn't know what skills I would have, how could I commit to a career at 17? And lastly, I didn't want to shut down all my other possibilities. The idea that I had to commit to a plan felt like I had to shut out everything else. Now, my parents framed it as hobbies, right? Oh, the things that you enjoyed as a kid, you could do those as hobbies, but your career is what you took seriously. But it felt so, I don't know, dismissive of those parts of myself. I didn't like the idea that those things that I enjoyed would fall to the background while I got serious and become an adult in the real world. I had to believe that there was another option, that there was a way to integrate in my job all those things that I was. So there had to be a better way. Now, not only did I not know myself and not know the world, but that world was also changing very fast. Since the year 2000, the year that I graduated, the following technologies were invented that are now critical to what I do now as a private tutor. 3G internet, Skype, Facebook, YouTube, the iPhone, 4G internet, and Zoom. Right? This is just a small sample of the technologies that have developed over the last 20 years that have completely transformed work. How could I, as a 17-year-old, predicted that it would be possible to work from home and basically become a video private tutor and get paid well for it? I've had no clue. So how do you prepare yourself to take advantage of an opportunity like that when you can't even predict it? So, again, what does this all mean? It means that new technologies will radically transform the job market. If you are a high school student now and you plan to enter the job market after you graduate college, that job market is going to look radically different than the one that we have now. And it's hard to predict what new technologies are going to affect that job market. Maybe artificial intelligence will open up new opportunities. Maybe this metaverse becomes a big idea. Maybe cryptocurrency becomes really big. Maybe auto-driving cars will, or it could be just some other brand new technology. Because it's difficult to predict, we have to constantly be on the lookout for transformations, both in the job market and in ourselves. Remember, keep in mind that not only is the world changing, but you are changing. Your strengths are changing, your skills are changing, and the things that you want are going to change as well. So it's probably not a good idea to plan a 20-year career based on your strengths and desires as a 17-year-old when it's likely that the things that you want will change when you are 21, which will change when you are 25, which will change when you are 29, let alone when you are 40. So, because the world is so dynamic and you are dynamic, we are going to need special tools that help A, identify our evolving strengths, B, broadcast those strengths to others, and C, find opportunities to turn those strengths into a career. And it's here where I'm going to bring up my definition of career, and that is a sustaining and evolving series of jobs done for a long period of time. You could get a job as a bank teller, but over the years, as you, say, get promoted and you become a bank manager, or you become a district manager, regional manager, or vice president, over 10 years, that now is a career. So we're going to talk about how you can have certain tools to really design the career that you want. And so I've separated the series into 4 parts. The first part, we're going to talk about the equation for employment. We're going to talk about the basic elements that you need to get a job. Then part 2, we're going to talk about mind mapping. And this is a tool you can use to help identify your skills and strengths. Part 3 is about prototyping and about how we can develop and test these skills, and also how we can try out certain jobs, almost like we are going to a clothing store and trying out clothes in the dressing room. So we get to use prototypes to essentially kind of try out jobs to see if we like them or we don't, or if there are ways that we can alter them. Lastly, we're going to talk about networking. And networking is about how we can connect with people in the industries that we are interested in, so we can learn more about those industries and best position ourselves to take advantage of opportunities. So thank you for listening for this intro. Hopefully you're interested, and I will see you in part 1. Take care. Thank you so much for watching. Now, if you liked what you saw, please click the thumbs up button below. Also, if you want to watch more of my videos, or you want to catch me on an office hours live stream, please click subscribe to Sophos Tutor.